Today's video is about Saint Bridget, an example of faith, charity, and devotion. Saint Bridget, known in the Church for her many divine revelations, was born in Sweden, the daughter of noble and pious parents. Before her birth, her mother faced a grave danger of shipwreck, but was miraculously saved. The next night, an old man appeared to her in a dream, saying, "God has preserved your life because of the child you will give birth to." Her mother faithfully followed this instruction as long as she lived. After her mother's death, Bridget, then 7 years old, was entrusted to the care of a devout aunt who educated her with religious zeal. At the age of 10, when he heard a sermon on the Passion of Christ, he was deeply moved. The next night he had a vision of Christ on the cross, with blood dripping from his wounds. Trembling, he asked, "Lord, who has struck you like this?" Christ answered, "Those who despise my love, transgressing my laws and being ungrateful for the love I have for them." This vision marked Bridget, who from then on developed a deep devotion to the Passion of Christ, always shedding tears at the thought of it. Other visions followed, especially during her prayers, which were her greatest joy. She often got up at night to meditate. She also practiced bodily mortification to resemble Christ in her suffering. By obedience to her father, at 13, she married Ulfo, Prince of Nerisha, winning his heart with her kindness, distancing him from habits such as gambling and luxury, and inspiring him to a life of prayer and devotion. If you're enjoying this story, please like and share it so that this video reaches more hearts. They lived in harmony, and Bridget took care that nothing in her house offended God. She was the mother of 8 children, 2 of whom died in infancy, and 2 on pilgrimage to the Holy Land. 2 daughters lived at court as examples of virtue. One became a religious, and the 4th, Catherine, was canonized, reflecting the pious education that Bridget gave them. With Ulfo's consent, Bridget founded a hospital where she served the poor and sick, washing and kissing their feet with reverence. When Ulfo fell ill after a trip to Compostela, Saint Dionysius appeared to Bridget, predicting his recovery. Ulf, desiring a more devout life, entered a Cistercian monastery, where he lived his last years. After Ulf's entry into the monastery, Bridget lived another 30 years, devoting herself to a life of penance and devotion. She distributed her goods to her children and practiced acts of charity and penance, fasting regularly and devoting her life to prayer. She founded a convent for 60 nuns, with a rule she received from Christ, giving rise to the Brigantine order. She herself entered the convent, being an example of virtue. After 2 years, she received the order to make a pilgrimage to Rome and the Holy Land with her daughter Catarina. On his return, he fell gravely ill in Rome, but found solace in the divine visions he had. He prepared for death by receiving the sacraments and died at the age of 71 in 1373. Many miracles were attributed to his intercession before and after his death. Dear Brigida, mother and nun, intercessor of the family and the Church, pray to God for the religious and for the families. I ask the Lord for the conversion of Europe and of the sinners of the whole world. Amen. To hear more stories of saints, subscribe to the Aurora Veritatis channel.